Good morning, Rabbi Isai. We have a lot of guests here. First of all, Shalom Aleichem to my good old friend Yonah Rothman. Shalom Aleichem. Who did you bring with you? Eli Church, the famous Eli Church. You gonna sing us a niggin?
Nachman.
All right, let's go. Let's do it. Let's do it. This is entertainment. I'll show you what entertainment is. Well, you'll find out in a second. Yeah, sing a niggin. No, let's go. Let's go. Do it. He said.
This is Menachem's second.
So, what's your name? Shalom Aleichem. From Brooklyn? Muncie. You're? Muncie. You? Where do you live now?
The mayor of Muncie.
And what's your name, Tzaddik?
I'm from Sicker.
Sicker from?
Muncie, New Hampstead.
Nusi, you gonna help him out? Let's go, niggin. Quick niggin. Let's go. Oh, that's so many We have some more guests. Wait a minute, we have more. Achenu, what's your name, Tzaddik? Greenspan. The famous? No, for real? Oh, okay. From where? From where? Cleveland? You're not the guy that does the Asher Ken Asher Love. We'll find out. So he's the famous. I know about this stuff. Maybe. We'll see today. Send it to me though. I want to hear it. Yes, it's talking you? No, okay. Stam in the name. Rabbi Isai, good vach, Rabbi Eli. Thank you so much for the garlic tip. I added it to everything, and the chips, and the avocado, and the meat, everything. The other thing that the Vilna Gaon was talking about is that will give you peace and quiet on Shabbos. Second, I started talking, people backed off and avoided me. I had time to learn and nap. The best Shabbos ever. Thank you, Yosef, Via'al, Anonymous. Yeshua. This, Rabbi, is a beautiful picture. If you take a good look at this picture, this guy is doing the daf while he's being pulled over by a cop. Look at his mirror. Taking advice to stay with the daf and go back and make it time when time is available. I did just that. I found an extra half hour one morning on my way to work, waiting on the other side of the road while being pulled over. Mordechai Palek. And if you look, this is not a made up one. I'll tell you why, how I know. If you look at you look on the bottom, Daf 69, he did. You could see that he did the entire thing. It has a red line through it. Yishkoyach. This is Kamionski from Melbourne, Australia. Thanks for the shout out on Motzi Shabbos. I have some amazing news to share. Here's a photo of the 12th graders of Leibler Yavne College in Melbourne, Australia at their school graduation. Early in the year, most of them found it difficult to wear tzitzis. In 12th grade, they designed custom t-shirts to wear to school. This gave me an idea. Why don't we mechazik each other to wear tzitzis? A boy named Gabe Jetkowitz went and made the design. Bekitzer and he, Penny himself, worked on the Now, 21 boys have collectively started wearing tzitzis. May this be a massive schus for the entire Klal Yisrael. It's unbelievable. It's a Kiddush Hashem. Thanks, Penny. You know, the Chavetz Chaim talks about this, and they live in Melbourne. It's very difficult in Melbourne to wear tzitzis on the outside. There's a lot of goyim, and there's embarrassment. To take pride that you're Yid, the Chavetz Chaim, I don't know of another place where the Chavetz Chaim goes on such a tangent. And he talks about how you have to wear tzitzis and not be embarrassed of the guy and put it on the outside of this. So kol hakavod to these guys. This has nothing to do with the daf, but it does. It's one thing leads to the other. Rabbi Isai, right over here where this tzaddik is sitting, Sicker. We have a big tzaddik. His name is Morty Rasby. He comes every single day. He's a huge Bal Yisurim. He suffers a lot. He has a lot of pain. And right now, as we speak, he's going through major surgery where they're installing a morphing pump into him. And it's very rare here in Eretz Yisrael. So we're going to learn l'schusay. His name is Mordechai Shlomo ben Sarah Tili. He says that the daf mamish takes him out of his pain. That's why he comes all the time. He comes, he hardly walks up the stairs. He's a big Bal Yisurim. Young guy. Should have Refoel Shlomo. And here's the picture of the Bachrim wearing their designed tzitzis. Beautiful. And I guess should we start the... Oh, this one, okay. Goy Gomer at shakits.com writes, I have to thank you, Rebelli. It's been years since I was in yeshiva. There's a guy that sends me these kinds of emails all the time. Maybe it's the same guy, maybe it's not. If it is, I'll read it. You don't have to send me any more. It's been years since I was in yeshiva, and yeshiv's like old times. It's nostalgic, it's interesting, it's fun. I mamish love it. I haven't missed the daf since brachas. And your videos are the highlights of my day. Being completely off the derech for years, Averis have lost their geschmackheit. But you hawking about men wearing rings yesterday had me smiling all day. Thank you for making me feel like a bum again. I inadvertently got someone hooked on MDY recently. But I don't know if he wants a shout out. I'm thinking about whether I want to go to the Siyam Shas. I wouldn't blend in anyways, so maybe I'll dress like Waldo. There's a guy, Bensi, who does beautiful cartoons on the daf. I get them, unfortunately, kind of late, and I thought this was a good one. If you speak Hebrew, it's unbelievable. Kishta, Chatul Gadol. Avruchi Ari, he's trying to get rid of the lion, but the outcome was not so good for him. There he is. Okay. What shaykhs to the daf, I don't know, but Avruchi Ari Ba'almahu. Stam, he's chasing away the... Huh? Yeah, I know. It's great. The Koilel is sponsored... that may we always be able to support Torah, may the Torah protect us from any harm. The Masech is sponsored, Sgula Torah and Tומכיה כיעקב ויעל. The month is sponsored, leadership of Zechrya ben Moshe, leadership of בּצלאל ben Moshe. The Parnas Hayom, we have 4 of them. Basch, Ruzohorsky, something like that, and Braude Families, in honor of our father Moshe Basch on his 70th birthday. Mazel Tov, 70th birthday. Refoel Grosskopf. Lili Nishmas גיסי, הבוחר, החתן, יוסף צבי בן רב שמעון קליין עליו השלום, נקטף בדמי ימיו, ד' כסלו תשנ"א. Kamionski grandchildren, in memory of Chaya bas Moshe on her 30th yortzeit. Chaya, the neshama should have an aliyah. By the Yagudaev and Ephraimov families in memory of their mother Devorah Dorah bat Dina. And the art is sponsored this month, the entire month. The first month of art is sponsored by Anonymous from Lakewood Zchus for his Nisa Shiduchim. You could also be mishtatif in the art. You could also do a full month. We'll take 6-7 months. Zelo Mishaneh. It goes to great causes.
You can sign up on the regular website.
On the regular website, if you want to do a day, a month, a week, check out the art today. You'll see it's a game changer. Morty Razvi's on Zoom. Let's put him on Zoom. If you have him on Zoom, let's see him on the screen. We'll all wish him a refuah shleima. All right, so before we get him on Zoom, as we're getting him on Zoom, we're starting from... Yesterday we did the sugya 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. Just ignore everything that we learned yesterday. We're doing the sugya over again. Yesterday I was just reading it quickly just to get to the bottom. But we got it. We have to do it over, and we're going to do it. Hey, Morty! Refuah shleima, Morty. That's Morty. Okay. All right. You should be mechuzik, and we have you in our tefillas, in our learning. Refuah shleima. Machzir le'avedasai. So let's go back to the Mishnah for a second. We had a very small Mishnah on the bottom of Amud Aleph, and it says that if somebody's mudar hana from his friend, and we'll go into exactly what that means, but basically, a person says to somebody else, I am not allowing you to benefit from me. You won't be able to benefit from me. So, even though Ruvain doesn't allow Shimon to benefit from Ruvain could go ahead and pay off his debt. Ruvain could go pay a machzah shekel. Ruvain could go and return an aveda. If that's one way to look at the case. Okay? So those are the 3 things that he's allowed to do, even though he said he'll never allow any benefit from himself. But returning a lost object is not benefit. Paying off his debt to the Beis Hamikdash is half a shekel, is not a great benefit for Shimon, so he's allowed to do it. And even the big chiddush, even paying off debt, real debt, $1 million debt, is just a mavriach hari, is just chasing away the lie. Now, if you remember yesterday, this is my little drawing. I had Shimon, the Machzor Aveda on the right, and Ruvain losing stuff. If you look really closely, you can see some papers flying out of his suitcase. That's not good enough for us. We have Yoshi, and therefore this is what it's going to be looking like. This is a Bala Aveda. This you can see, this is Avi Kamionski. He lost a cat. Cat came out of his suitcase, toilet brush. This is what he has. All three of them, he's holding that little chatei case. Now you know what's in it. You never have. You thought it's all this lawyer stuff. Basically, he has a toilet brush and a toothbrush, and sometimes he brings his cat with him. Fine. Now, so that he's called a Bal Aveda. He lost objects. The next thing we have is, look at you, Noam, check this out. You're the Machzer Aveda. He is returning the objects. We have a Machzer and a Bal Aveda. That's all we're talking about today. The two options today is either the Bal Aveda is usher to benefit from the Machzer, or the Machzer is usher to benefit from the Bal Aveda. That's it. That's the whole sugya today, in a nutshell. Put them all together. This is what it looks like. The Bal Aveda is moving, his objects fall, and the Machzer picks them up. Now, there's something called a mudar and a madar. A madar is the person saying it. He has the bubble by his mouth. He says, I do not allow what? Look inside the bubble. He's not allowing himself to be benefited from the mudar. So, in this case, the mudar, the guy with the red, he's usher. He cannot, Avi Kamionski with the suitcase open, he cannot benefit from Noam Fix picking up the cat. Why? Because Noam Fix is the madar. He said with his mouth, I don't allow Avi to benefit from me. That's what he said. Okay, we have to absorb this, because we're not going to be talking so much about the madar today. We're talking about the mudar.
Are you allowed to make a mitzvah? You won't be able to do a mitzvah because of that?
That's something else. That's something else.
If you do this now, you can't do a mitzvah. How could you do that? You're not allowed to do that. The Torah says you can't just come along and say, I'm not going to do a mitzvah.
I hear. Good kasha. But we have a lot of stuff to deal with. What? He's madar the hana of himself upon, I know it's counterintuitive. He's not being madar Avi. He's madar himself on Avi. He's saying, Avi cannot benefit from me. Avi cannot benefit from me. I'm in a circle. I'm in an X. I'm saying this. I'm the one being madar. I'm invoking this nether. And what is my nether? I don't allow Avi to ever benefit from me. Does that include giving back an Aveda? So in a way, you could say no. It doesn't include an Aveda. The Mishnah says it doesn't include an Aveda. Why? Because Avi doesn't benefit from Noam returning the cat. It's his cat. He bought the cat with cash. It's his. It just got lost. He's just returning it to him. There is a little bit of maybe some hana that he didn't have to look for it, but that's part of the mitzvah, and that you can't really benefit from. He didn't get any monetary benefit. He owns the cat before, he owns the cat today, he just got it back. That's one way of looking at it. Another way of looking at it is no, he cannot. That's the machlokes in Gemara. At the end of the day, he's benefiting from the madar. Since he's a mudar does not have any hana from the madar. And he's having hana. He got his cat back. That's wrong. So that is the shaila here.
But he might not have gotten the cat back at all if it wasn't for Noam to return it. That would have been a monetary loss.
Yeah, how's it a monetary loss?
You're saying if he got it back, so what if he didn't get it?
Right. Okay. That's the two ways to look at it. In fact, the Ran says exactly your words. He says, as an afkamina later on in the sugya, between paying up a loan and giving back a cat, he says, a loan, I might never have to pay it. I might never pay it. I might die not paying it. So you paying off my loan, all you did is a menias hefset for me. But giving back a cat, you're giving me back a real thing that I was missing. I like my cat and I want my cat back right now. And you gave it to me right now, so you gave me something. That's basically what the Ran is saying. That's the svara.
You said it's him the tear club having to go look for it. No,
I hear. Yeah, you're right. Says the Gemara inside.
I'm right.
No, I'm saying this as both ways. That's why there's a machlaikas. You understand that way. That's great. Right? So we're holding Daf Lamed Gimel Amud Beis by the new sugya. Pligi bar Rabami v'Ravasi. We have a machlokes. Chad Omar lo yishanu elo b'shenichsei machzir asurim al bal aveda. When the machzir is the mother, so we're not going to talk about mother now. Let's not get confused. Let's talk about the mudar. So it's asurim al bal aveda. The bal aveda. This case right here that we have on the screen. This is what the Mishnah is talking about. That the Bala Veda, the one that lost the objects, he's the mudar, he's the one that's usher to benefit from his friend. Nevertheless, the Mishnah comes and says the guy is allowed to return the object. Why? Because when Noam gives it back, we could call him Reuven, Shimon, whatever you want to call him. Like in the beginning of Vamis, I was all confused. I was calling them by their names. Now, okay, to me that looks like Noam. I don't know about Reuven and Shimon. Asurim al Bala Veda. Nobody's dying here today, Baruch Hashem, so we can call them by their real names. Midam dinavshei kumahadrle. He's giving him back the cat that he lost. He's not giving him any benefit. He bought a cat for $100, and today he has a cat that's worth $100. He didn't gain anything by the guy returning it. But what if Noam is the mudar? The madir cannot. The madir said. Avi said, Noam, you cannot benefit from me. So guess what? In this case, Noam cannot return the Aveda. What are you talking about? He's not gaining anything. He's giving back a cat. That's what we learned yesterday. Pruta de Rav Yosef. There is another side benefit called Pruta de Rav Yosef. What is that? That's the halacha that if a poor person comes to you while you're doing a mitzvah, you're taking care of the cat, you're holding it, you're petting it, so you don't have to give that poor person a pruta. So you just gain the pruta. One way we always say, it's a big mitzvah to give tzedakah and it's going to help your life and you get a lot of Gan Eden. Over here, you're gaining. You don't have to do a mitzvah. Wow, you don't have to do a mitzvah. But maybe you can look at it differently. I'm doing a mitzvah right now. I'm involved in a mitzvah. Obviously, as the Ram points out, or Rishon points out, anytime we learn the sugya, if the cat is in a cage in your living room, you're not parted from giving tzedakah. It's when you're lifting the cat and you're feeding the cat and you're dealing with the cat, then you're parted from tzedakah. That ptur, when a poor person comes to you and asks you for money and you don't have to give him, that has value of a pruta. Because all you have to give the honey is one pruta, so that has a value. But since I'm picking up the cat is usher to benefit from Avi, who lost his objects, the machzir is usher to have anah from the Bala Veda. He just had anah, or he could have anah of a pruta, and therefore he's not allowed to return it. That's why there's a big X over there. In this case, according to this Manda Omar, X. He should not return it. And the Gemara is going to ask a kasha. We're going to try to prove things from our Mishnah. Why? Okay. And if an ani comes, and I said yesterday, and I'll say it again, everybody agrees to this concept. Rav Yosef is only arguing whether that puts Noam in a position of a Shem Sachar or a Shem Chinam. He holds the Shem Sachar. Other holds no, it's the Shem Chinam. Because the pruta that he doesn't have to give the ani is as if he gets payment for watching the cat and he turns into Shem Sachar. That's a different sugya. But everybody agrees that he has anah for not giving a pruta to the ani. Forget Shem Sachar, Shem Chinam. You still have that anah of Rav Yosef. Likula alma. And memela, the mudar, if the machzer is a mudar, the guy returning is usher to benefit from the guy that lost, then he can't return because he gains that one little pruta. V'chadamar, and another man argues, and this probably Lauren could understand even more. You could return in such a situation. Why? What are the chances that while I'm petting the guy's cat and calming him down and feeding him cat food, a poor person is going to knock on the door? It's not shchiach. Memela, it's not considered a no, since it's not shchiach. Shalom al Yisrael and the story. I will tell you one of my favorite jokes that I had as a child. So it's probably not very funny, but for me it was funny at the time. A kid came to his father and said, I saved you $3 because instead of taking the bus to school, I ran after the bus. So the father said, Shaita, you could have saved me $20 had you ran after a taxi. Jonathan. Okay, so for such people make a big deal out of saving a pruta, and it is it changes halachas if you save a pruta. Okay. By the way, this idea of oisik b'mitzvah, patur b'mitzvah, is only when you do it l'shem shomayim. You're doing a mitzvah, I'm doing hashavas aveda, l'shem shomayim, but let's say I sell tefillin and mezuzahs, you're a soicher, you're doing a mitzvah. So if you do it for free, then you're oisik b'mitzvah, patur b'mitzvah. But if you're doing it because that's your parnasa, or let's say you're a big askin and you help the tzibur or whatever, all those things, you get a salary. Once you get a salary, you don't have the halach of oisik b'mitzvah, patur b'mitzvah. Tanan. Now we're holding an hour daf. I just want to warn you that yesterday I did the sugya according to the Ran. The Ran has a different girsa and he changes a few very important points. But then I saw that the art scroll doesn't go with the Ran, even though they're very consistent and we try to be consistent and go with the Ran the entire sugya. But because the art scroll is not doing it like that and the lashon in the Gemara is not like the Ran, so we'll go with what it says in the Gemara. The idea is pretty much the same. I mean, the outcome is the same. Let's see. Tanat. We learned in our Mishnah. Makaim shenoitlim aleh sachar. So the Mishnah talks about what about if the minig of the place is to pay somebody that returns an object. Now, just as a side note, we said yesterday the it says on the spot that it's in a place that people weren't makbid on Hashem Saveda, so Chachamim did the like Hefker Bezdin kind of thing, different shitas. Is it mutter for somebody to put up a sign and say, if you find my cat, I'll pay you $100? It says in the Torah you have to do Hashem Saveda, so maybe you shouldn't be offering money for it. So the Sfarim say that you're allowed to. You're just not allowed to demand $100 for returning it, but you're allowed to offer $100 if somebody returns it. And another svar is that minatayra, you just have to announce. You could say, hey, I found somebody's cat. But usually what happens is the guy goes to the house and he delivers the cat. So for that he could demand money or whatever. Okay, fine. I'll go upon what does it say in the Mishnah? In a city that they pay for returning objects, then nobody should take the money. The money should go to the Beis Hamikdash. Says the Gemara, beautiful. Mam is a beautiful thing here. That's called that the machzir is mudar hana, like in this picture right over here. Nami mahader. If the case is that you're permitted here, so this is not the case because it has an X. Let's go to the next one. Oh, you see it has a check. If you hold that this case is a case where he's permitted to give it back, the machzir, the guy that found the aveda, is also to benefit, but he's allowed to give it back. Why? Because we're not concerned with the prut of Rav Yosef. Rav Yosef prut is not shchiach. So now it makes a lot of sense. So the Ran sticks in here. Let's just go to the next case. The Ran says, let's say it's talking about this. Okay? This is the third possibility. It's combining both of the cases. They're both also on each other. Now, the mudar hana, the machzir can return it. Why? Because he has zero benefit. Prut of Yosef doesn't exist. The guy that lost the object could receive the object. Why? Because it's his object. He gained nothing. So now what is the Mishnah saying? That if it's a place that you get money for this, give it to the Beis Hamikdash. So, if the machzor guy, he doesn't want to take money for this, so you give it to the Beis Hamikdash. For the Baal Aveda to keep it, he can't keep it. Let's say the machzor doesn't want it, or he can't take it because he's benefiting. So now the Baal Aveda cannot keep the $50 he was going to give to the machzor. He can't keep it in his pocket because now he's benefiting from the machzor. And he's also a mudar. They're both mudar in these cases. In this case, both of them are also to have an on each other. So the guy returning it can't take money from the guy that lost it because he's going to benefit from him. The guy that lost the object can't retain the money, can't keep the money because he's also gaining a monetary benefit. So what do you do with the money? Put it in the pushka, give it to the Beis Hamikdash. But if we go to this case. Yeah? That in a case where the mudar hana, listen to this beautiful, beautiful raya. If we have to eliminate this case from the Mishnah, why are we eliminating this case from the Mishnah? Because there's a big X on it. If the machzer is a mudar hana, he's usher to benefit from the mader, from the balaveda. And the Manda Amar holds this case, he should not return it. Why shouldn't he return it, Rabbi say in this case? Because he holds there's a pruta de Rav Yosef. He holds there's a pruta here, and he's a mudar, he's not allowed to benefit from the pruta. So what do you do in such a case? If he finds the guy's cat, don't return it. So what's the next step? The Mishnah says that if he does return it, he shouldn't take money for it. You should put the money in the pushka. But what's the case? It's not this case. So what is the case? The case is that the balaveda is the mudar. Okay? Very, very simple. I see you're rolling your eyes. Let's go back. We have all day here. There's a one-man da'amah that says that this case is not in the Mishnah. You're not allowed to return when the finder is asr bahana, is asr to benefit. Why? Because the finder is going to get a benefit of one pruta, according to Rav Yosef, that's asr to benefit. So this case, do not return. So this case is not in the Mishnah. What case is in the Mishnah? The opposite. With the mudar is the balaveda, this case. This is the Mishnah. Okay. The balaveda lost something. He is not allowed to benefit from Noam Fix, but Noam Fix is allowed to return the cat. Why? Because he didn't give him anything. He started with the cat 2 days ago and he's ending with the cat. So on this, the Mishnah says that the money should go to the Beis Hamikdash. Why? The guy finding the cat is allowed to take money. He's not a mudar. He's a mader. A mudar is allowed to receive money. Why can't Noam Fix get money, payment for finding and giving back the object in this case? Anybody? There's no reason in the world. He's not a mudar. Avi is a mudar. The guy that found the object in this case has no isser to benefit from Avi. So let him take a salary. Let him take his $50. He earned it. Why does the Mishnah say, give it to Beis Hamikdash? The raya is that this is wrong. This is the case where you have to give it to Beis Hamikdash. In other words, it should be this one right over here. This one. In a case of mudar, he's permitted to return, yet he can't take a salary for it because then he's going to benefit because he's a mudar and he's not allowed to benefit. So you see that what's right here is the check, not the X. The X is a problem. Because if this case is not in the Mishnah, then the only case remaining in the Mishnah is this case. And he should be able to get a salary. The finder should get a salary. You understand the raya? Great. Great kasha. Says the Gemara, what's the answer? Of course, in this case, he's allowed to, the guy that lost his object could pay a salary. You know what the case is? He doesn't want a salary. He's one of those guys, a typical guy, right? Almost everybody in this room that returns an object to somebody and the guy offers him $20, most likely you're going to say, no, it's okay, take your wallet. In that case, what do? It's this case, just he doesn't want to take the salary. He doesn't want to take his money. So what happens? Avi's going to keep the money, but he can't keep the money. It's also for him to keep the money. Why? Because he's a mudar. A mudar is also to have anah from a mader. And the guy that's returning the object said, you're not going to benefit from me. I'm not going to take your money and you're not going to benefit from me. So what do? You give it to the Beis Hamikdash. Achadaktani. It's only talking about one of the two options. We have that Avi is going to give a salary to Noam, or he's not going to give the salary to Noam. He's going to keep it in his pocket. On that, the Mishnah says, if he wants to keep it in his pocket, he can't. He has to give it back to the Beis Hamikdash. But, wait a minute, what if Noam doesn't want to take the salary? He could take it. Why not? He's not mudar anah.
Why is that a benefit for him?
It's not a benefit. He has a chiyuv. He can't keep it in his pocket because he's holding somebody else's money. You get nothing for giving tzedakah. It's Mrs. Lavnez. Okay. Says the Gemara, okay, so we just did one way of learning it. Huh? And some say it. By the way, Amud Beis goes very, very fast. Seriously. Some say it. It doesn't matter because this is the sugya that we have to focus on. Amud Beis is very. We can do tomorrow in 3.5 minutes. We just have to get to the bottom of the summit. Some say it differently. Between some say that when the machzir is the mudar, right over here, Noam is the mudar, then you can give it back. Then you give it back. Why can you give it back? Because there's no prut of the Rabbi Yosef. He holds that one prut is not shchiach. Don't worry about it. Just give it back. Umishum prut of Rabbi Yosef l'shchiach. But if the Baal Aveda, the one that lost, he's the mudar, then don't give it back. Why not? A second ago he said, here's Lauren's svara. A second ago he said, he lost a cat, you're giving him back a cat, he gained nothing from you. No, he gained a lot. Now he can pet his cat, now he can go to sleep easy, he doesn't have to worry about his cat. It's a big anah. Right? We know somebody from my family, I'm not going to mention who didn't want to come to Eretz Yisrael because he has a cat. Right? Remember that whole story? And at the end, he's mevater Baruch Hashem. He's in Eretz Yisrael for over a year without his cats. It's a big tzar for them. I just spoke to them a few days ago. They keep on talking about the babysitter's not a good one, doesn't take good care of the cats. This talking about $10,000 worth of 2 cats. So they left them there. They're babies. Mamish. The nachas. You go into the house. Pictures all over the. Yeah. I'm not joking. Some people are very, very attached. I remember a guy that listens to the share every day, still listening right now. He wrote me an email. He says, don't worry about the cats. I have a way. Tell them to send it to Eretz Yisrael. And when it gets here, I'll take care of them. Don't worry about it. You remember that? Okay. Fine. But if the Baal Aveda, he's the mudar, and he cannot benefit, he shouldn't give it back. Why? Mishum, because at the end of the day, you're giving back a cat, and that's what he wants, and that's what he needs, and you're giving him anah. It's very interesting. I'll just point out real quickly. If you understand it, great. If not, don't worry about it. The Mishnah has 3 cases, 3 nice guys. One nice guy pays your half a shekel. One nice guy pays your loan. And one nice guy returns your Aveda. So, what we're saying is, who's the nice guy? This guy. Basically, the Ran is saying that the nice guy in the Mishnah is split up. Sometimes the nice guy, he's the mudar, he's usher to have enough from you. And sometimes, that's the whole bottom line in the Ran, in this Nakuda, that the Mishnah is not consistent who's the mudar. Sometimes it's the guy paying the half a shekel, and sometimes it's the guy returning the in other words, the guy returning the Aveda is different than the guy paying the chayv and the guy, because the guy in the Mishnah, the guy paying the chayv and the guy paying the machzah shekel, he's the nice guy, and the other guy's not allowed to benefit from him. The other guy's the mudar. Over here is the opposite. By the returning of the chayfetz, the guy returning is the mudar. So the Ran says we just have to say all cases to cover all situations. Fine. Says the Gemara. Even in this case, where the mudar is the Baal Aveda, mutter, you're allowed to return it. Why? So here you have the 2 svaras. He returned this cat that he owned before, he didn't give him any monetary benefit whatsoever, and therefore it's mutter. So whereas before we had a machlokes, over here the machlokes is in the Baal Aveda. If the Baal Aveda is a mudar or not a mudar, and before the first lashon is the machzer a mudar or not. Okay, that's the nafkamina. By the way, I just heard a beautiful thing that Rebbe Bells, he was walking the street and he found a stamp. And he got extremely excited that he could do Hashavas Aveda because he's never done it in his life. He's a Rebbe, he walks with, hold on. When does he find something? Before he can ever find the wallet, some other chassid is going to jump and get. It's like his first time. Okay, but it's a mitzvah in the Torah. Oh yeah, I mean, that's in something else. Not in the all Hashavas Aveda. No, in certain things, to go and get a sheep, but to give back a stamp, I don't think, no. A mitzvah in the Torah is not erased from a tzaddik. There's no such thing. If it's not lefi chvaydai, but a stamp is lefi chvaydai, why not? Anyways, he made he brought a whole tikkun to shul, a whole thing. He made a big simcha out of it. Fine.
Did you return it?
Huh? Yeah. No, he did. That's the story. He made a big announcement. And one of the Hasidim saw how excited he was, and nobody was coming forward. He came forward just to give him a little honor. My Rebbe, Reb Micha Yehuda Lefkovich, Zecher Tzadik Levracha, when the whole thing with the internet came out, they did a whole thing against internet. So somebody went to him and said, "What if somebody finds in the street an open internet source?" He says, "You for sure shouldn't return it. You're not mechuyev to return it." Okay. Zok the Gemara. Tanan, Magam Shenoitim, he was serious. Like he thought like the internet is a metzias kind of thing. Like if it's parrots, it's parrots. Magam Shenoitim. Now, so the Gemara brings a raya again, the same raya that we had before. Now, it says in our Mishnah, Magam Shenoitim aleh sachar tipol hana lagdish. In a city that you get paid for returning an object, the money should go to Hagdish. Bishloim alamanda Omar afiluk b'shenichsei machzir asurim al bala veda mehader. According to the Manda, it says when the machzir, the bala veda is the mudar here in this case. Mamish, what you see on the screen. The bala veda is a mudar. He's also to benefit from the machzir, but nevertheless he's allowed to return it. Hainu de mitaretz makon. So again, the Ran says, we're talking about even in a case where they're both mudar on each other. And why are you allowed to return it? You're allowed to return it because the balaveda is not benefiting anything because it's his cat. The other guy, the machzir, is allowed to return it because he's not gaining anything from the prutadur of Yosef. There's no gain here. The balaveda, it's his cat. The machzir, he doesn't gain a pruta. Great. So in this situation, I understand why, in this case, the machzir shouldn't take a salary. Why? Because he's a mudar ana. He'll gain. And if he says, I refuse to take the money, there's another problem. The balaveda shouldn't keep that money. Why? Because he's also a mudar. He can't benefit. But if the case is this, that when Avi is a mudar, then Noam cannot return it. Why? Because he's getting his cat back, and it's also for him to benefit even that. So let's look at this again. This case is not in the Mishnah. Why? The Mishnah says you're allowed to return a mitzvah. This case, you can't return the mitzvah. Why? Because the guy's getting his cat back and it's too much benefit from him. Nah. So what's the Mishnah talking about? We have to be talking about this case. The only case is that the mudar, who's asur nana? The machzir. That's what the Mishnah is talking about. If that's the case, the same question as we had before. Why can't he get a salary? No, that didn't make sense. If he's mudar, hold on a second. If the balaveda is mudar right here, why shouldn't the guy giving back the money, why shouldn't he be able to take his salary? And on that the Gemara says, Kasha. So we remain with the Kasha. Because we remain in Kasha, the Ran says something very interesting. That we always go la halacha according to the second lashon. It's the biggest side in halacha. You learn this from the Ran here. we had two lashonos, and because the Gemara has a question on this piece, so therefore, whether the machzer or the Baal Aveda are mudar, you give back the Aveda. Okay? You give back. Because on the tzada you don't give back. The Gemara had a big question on that. So you give back the Aveda in both cases. Should we see the next thing? Let's see. Let's just at least turn the page. Daf Yomi Beis, sponsored by Yankel Cohen, the official MDY MSP. This was being able to support Limit HaTorah and to finish shots with the rebelli. Omarova. Brand new sugya. Hoysel lefan of kikor shel hefker. A guy didn't pick up a loaf of bread, but it was hefker, and he's within daled amos of that loaf of bread, and he says, "V'amar kikor zu hegdish." This loaf of bread should be for the Beis Hamikdash. What happens if you use something that belongs to the Beis Hamikdash? So we have a pasuk here. Nefesh kisimo mal v'chata b'shgaga. If you use something with the Beis Hamikdash, v'hevi shtas shama, you have to bring a carbon asham, a carbon. Ves chamishisa Yosef alav, you have to add a fifth. Okay, two things happen. So he decided this loaf of bread should be hegdish. So he's not allowed to use it anymore. Then he went mal, not lachla. He went and he ate it. Mal lefi kula. He has to. The meila is as if he ate the whole loaf of bread. He has to pay 20%.
I didn't have to eat it.
Why?
He took it.
Okay, if he lifted it, fine.
It's enough.
Whatever. He lifted it up. Lo mishaneh. He did a ma'isa. So he has to pay, he has to bring a carbon and 20%. However, this is a very interesting halacha, which I still don't understand 100%. If he only had intent to give it to his children, but not to acquire it out of Hegdish, he gets a special, he has to pay only whatever benefit he got by telling his children that he's going to be mirish them a loaf of bread. What I don't understand, I could share with you if somebody has a good pshat. If he was mayol, he should be mayol completely. And if he wasn't mayol, he wasn't mayol at all. What does it mean he's mayol? It's like in yeshiva they said, I know it's a very strong language, but nobody is semi-pregnant. Either you're 100% pregnant or not pregnant at all. Either you were mayol and you have to pay the 20% in a carbon, or you weren't mayol and you pay zero. What does it mean? You're mayol a little bit, only by the hana. Okay, so whatever, he was mayol the hana. He said he's going to take that hana. Fine. Rabbi Sai, have a wonderful day.
We go.